Cheers, dog. Word up. Back with my crazy little mining rig experiments. My 1063 gigs and my 1066 gigs. Yeah, I got that right. The markets are way down today. Like Bitcoin is at 12,000, and everybody uses it in like a US dollar. But honestly, on these YouTubers and these videos, for us newer miners, we should really be talking more in hash rates, but that's really hard to do because I'm in the camp of running whatever algorithms are potentially runnable, especially through NiceHash. So we really should just be talking about, at least with NiceHash, mined Bitcoin per day, I think is the best way to go at it. Because that stays constant, and that's where the value's at. No matter what the US dollar market is, can this rig continually hit 1.5, 1.6 like it has been lately, Bitcoin a day? So yeah. So I'm running the EVGA software. My power is a little bit higher than the orange, is a little bit higher than like 100%. The CPU temps, I've got my room closed up in here, and the CPU temps are below 80, and all the cards are back to running 100%. This is after I just upgraded to the latest Nvidia driver and did some tweaking. Kryptonite, as you can see on my processor, it's an old Core 2 i7 980 6-core with hyperthreading, 333 overclocked to 4.2. It's a very simple overclock. 133 front side bus goes to 200, and 23 ratio goes down to 21. That's it. Set the RAM back to 1600. This is old 2 gig G-Skill 1600 RAM. 787 I think is the timing, so it's really good timing for as old as this DDR3 is on an old X58 chipset. So only 4 slots, so only 4 cards. I'd love to have a 6-slot solution like I do over here, and I may eventually, depending on the performance, I may eventually make this into the 6-card rig with the 1080s. Still waiting for my 1060s. Still waiting for my 2 other 1060s to show up. And then we'll have those 3 1050s and the 560, the 740, these 460s. I've got a couple 450s. I just acquired this little 4th generation Intel iCore 3. I think it's a 4150. I haven't even looked it up yet. A couple things that I'm trying. Just updated the driver on this one too. And one thing I found out, there is tweaking that can be done to Kryptonite as it pertains to the CPU to make sure it supports max threads. This is the beta version of the legacy miner, and it's doing a great job of basically running all the cores. This machine doesn't lag at all, so I can do other things on this and it'll just grind it out. That being said, to get it to 300 on Kryptonite, it says it's 104 US dollars. It's usually 150 on a stable market, but it's grinding away an extra buck by itself. To get it there, disable hyperthread, or sorry, actually I haven't played with hyperthreading. There may be something there too, but these algorithms are only using the physical cores too. I have noticed a speed decrease when hyperthreading is disabled. I don't think it's going to help overall with the system, because the rest of the system itself seems to be able to use those hyperthreads, taking the load off the physical cores. But that being said, disable virtualization and VT-D. That gave me an average of 30 hash increase and put me right at like that 300 mark stably. I was just in the BIOS on this one, and I noticed that I gotta get rid of this. I noticed this one has this is a pretty nice system. It's an i5 6500, 6th generation. I really need to turn this flash off, but 6500, and yeah, it's an i5 6500. I don't know why I can't do this. I'll do it this way. i5 6500, I've got, I don't know, 16 gigs of 3200 DDR memory in it. It's clocked at 3.9, and it'll boost clock to 3.6, which I'm going to play around with trying to get that permanently set up. This motherboard is a really nice MSI motherboard. It's the, what does it say there? The I can't quite read it. The Z170A SLI Plus. It's a 6-slotted board. I got my 460s, my 744 gig, and then my 560. 26 souls on that 560 by itself, but nothing compared to what cards do today. But you would think that a chip like this with 4 physical threads at that clock supporting AES would definitely throw more out, but that old first generation 6 core is mopping the floor with it. I haven't switched over to EVGA because I'm not really running EVGA cards, but I have noticed by far the EVGA utility over Afterburner runs the cards cooler and makes more money. I don't know how that's possible, but it just seems to be a little bit more stable software. Of course, these are all EVGA cards. I think that helps a lot, but I'm going to be playing with it probably on this rig soon to see what comes out. But yeah, we're gonna be playing with this a little bit later too and seeing what we can get out of this for performance. But everything has been running pretty damn good, and this one is running all the algorithms that it potentially can run. And yeah, I don't know, not much more to say. Those are my main observations. But yeah, 177. We'll let it warm up, but it's doing a little bit better already than it has before. But you know, you would think that there would be progress. I'm kind of surprised that AES is a switchable option in the BIOS of some of these motherboards. I'm gonna look into that a little more, but yeah, these 4 video cards don't really amount to much. I think it's like 16 SOL on the 740, and I think it's like 18 SOL per each 460, and then like 26 SOL for the 560. So yeah, yeah, Dagger likes to run on the 740, and then the 460s and 560s like to stack up on Skunk. And Kryptonite 181, but this one usually pushes 3 to 320, sometimes even higher. So that's about it for now. I just wanted to throw a little video out there. I'm just doing lots and lots of research and development, and tweaking and pushing, but we've gotten 4 or 5 days of complete stability out of this rig, and it's been actually pushing about 1.68 between these two machines, millibitcoin or e to the -3 or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, but that's it. Like and subscribe. Check out my main channel at Nutrient Shootouts, and that's it for now.